What's going on, baseball fanatics? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast, and we continue our series here looking at the top 5 landing spots for several key free agent players. Today we look at the case of Tommy Pham. I think Tommy Pham is going to be a player that has some interesting landing spots and who could be a very underrated player going into 2022. But before we get into it, if you haven't already done so, smash that subscribe button down below, as it does a huge service for us in allowing us to continue growing this community. So let's get into it. Now, as we look at the case of Tommy Pham, I think that it's very interesting to point out that this is a player who has had a lot of time traveling through different teams over the last several years. But I think that there is no doubt that there's an ability that this player has that if he can find the right mix, he can find himself at the top of the outfield market. Now, that being said, as we look at the number 5 team on my list, it is that of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, yes, this could be a very interesting move for the Pirates as they are going into a full-scale rebuild. But bringing in a guy, a veteran player at this point, with a potential power outlet of Tommy Pham, as well as a guy who can play good defense for you, this is going to be a player that could have a real serious value going into the July trading deadline. Now, you bring Tommy Pham in on a 1-year deal as a Pirates team, and you could actually flip him for something younger that you could bring back to solidify the rest of your farm system. Now, Pham has been an injury concern, but if he is healthy, this is going to be a player who could easily bring back solid returns. Now, as we look at the number 4 team on my list, it is that of the San Francisco Giants. I think that the Giants have a vacancy in that outfield that Pham could easily fit. I think that with the way that Gabe Kapler runs his organization, Tommy Pham could flourish under that type of tutelage. I think that there's a free spirit in Gabe Kapler who could easily bring out the best in Tommy Pham. Or it could go the opposite way and we could see a complete meltdown going down by the Bay. In that case, it would be very reminiscent to that of Reggie Jackson and Billy Martin. But I think in that bigger, expansive ballpark, Tommy Pham could easily find himself getting into a big-time race for the doubles or single-season triples record. Now, as we get into the number 3 team on my list, I think that is that of the Texas Rangers. I think the Rangers have an opportunity here to bring in a player like Tommy Pham, a low-risk, high-reward type of a player. I think that when you look at what this team is trying to build there, with bringing in a guy like Corey Seager, if you can back him up with some guys who can get on ahead of him, who can run a little bit, this gives you an opportunity to be a different kind of team than what we've seen the last several years. Pham is also a player who has been around the block a little bit now, and by bringing him on a team where he can be more of a veteran and push into a more of a leadership type role, this could help bring him and his game to a new level. Now, as we look at the number 2 team on my list, it is that of the Miami Marlins. I think very similar reasons to that of the Texas Rangers. Pham could come in and be a veteran player who can be seen as a leader on the ball club. I think when you give Pham an opportunity to put his skills in front of younger players and kind of help push them and also push himself, this could be a very good fit. I also think that in Miami, this is going to be a much more relaxed environment for a guy like Tommy Pham. While, yes, it could be the hustle and bustle of a bigger type South Florida city, this is also a market that is not going to push as hard on him as some of the other baseball markets that he's played around and some of the other tough divisions that he's played in. When you look at what Miami can be for a guy like Tommy Pham, I think this is a team who could get the best out of Tommy. Now, as we look at the number 1 team on my list, I think that it is that of the Detroit Tigers. I think there's an opportunity here for a team like Detroit to bring in a guy like Tommy Pham, as I said, a low-risk, high-reward type of a signing. I think if you were to put Pham around a guy like Miguel Cabrera, with his work ethic, as well as his hitting approach and his ability, Tommy Pham could easily benefit. We've seen it happen multiple times. Victor Martinez, who was already a great hitter, became even better around Miguel Cabrera. Nicholas Castellanos, who was a good prospect, who there was a lot of hype around, became even better around Miguel Cabrera. Same thing when you put in the possibility of a Tommy Pham. I think having Miguel Cabrera on the team is a surefire way to get the best out of a player, especially from a hitting approach. Now, yes, this is going to be a team that is going to be kind of a sleeper pick for some people as a postseason team, especially if we get expanded postseason in the new CBA. But I think that when it comes to Pham and the Tigers, I think that there's an easy fit there, and I think that for Pham, this could be a very good move to be sitting next to a surefire Hall of Famer in Miguel Cabrera. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your feelings on this down in the comment section below. What are your feelings as the best landing spot for Tommy Pham? As always, keep it locked into the GLMG family by following our sister channels WeSibs and the Granite Geek Show. Keep it locked in here to the Baseball Banter Broadcast by hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, as we continue to grow this community. So keep it locked in, and I will catch you guys with the latest news, notes, and my personal thoughts, theories, and opinions on the game of Major League Baseball. Peace.